Hello, parents. My name is Tracie Truax, and I am your son or daughter's contemporary world issues teacher. And I just want to tell you a little bit about our class, give you some information about how you can contact me, and introduce myself, I guess. Okay, so just to I'm just going to go ahead and throw these up here all at once. Our course is basically a geography course, or we are looking at contemporary world issues through a geographic lens. And so if you can see up there that we have 7 different topics, and each of these topics will be asking those geographic questions that you see on the left-hand side: what is where, why there, why care. So the intention behind this course is to really help your students access the world spatially rather than historically, because that's like typical of most social studies classes that they've had so far. So this is a unique course in that it's not a history course, and we are really looking at some pretty interesting issues that are current and are impacting our world today, and are a lot of fun to talk about. So talking about the grading categories, we have homework worth 5% of the course. So anytime they're doing practice or classwork, or anytime I want to give them some feedback on assignments that they're completing, that would be 5%. Summative assessments are 80%. So we always do sort of a mid-unit assessment. We do an end of unit assessment. Most of these are performance-based, so they're like projects or papers. And then there also is vocabulary focused content exams as well. These are, I probably should not call them exams. They're more like quizzes. So for example, our first unit is ending, I hope, before this long weekend. And there's like a 12-question vocabulary quiz over the content. So they're pretty short. They're more quizzes than they are exams. And then of course the final exam is worth 15% of their grade. We do use Classroom pretty frequently. I like students to do things off of their screens. I want to get them disengaged from the screens just a little bit. So we do stuff on paper, but the bigger assignments that we do are all on Classroom. And I use Classroom for a variety of reasons. So I might send the kids important announcements that will go directly to their email. There you will find the weekly agendas. So I organize Classroom by weeks, and usually the last thing the last thing of that week is the weekly agenda, which includes all of the activities that we do, including any homework that they might have to complete. Everything that we of any importance is linked to Google Classroom, and most of the time, even if we are doing something on paper, I will still post it to Classroom for students that may have missed that day. And then again, you can find homework assignments on Google Classroom as well. For me, if you have any questions or concerns at any point over the course of the school year, feel free to email me. My phone number is up there as well, but it is much, much easier to get in touch with me via email. It's a little bit more challenging to have a conversation over the phone, but do feel free to call me if you have anything that you want to talk about that may be more sensitive in nature. Keys to success. So let me leave you with some tips. Have your kids start getting into the habit of checking their email often throughout the day. Many of us will send announcements, and many of us, meaning teachers, will send announcements via Google Classroom, and sometimes they're time sensitive. Like, for example, I might say, you know what? I forgot to remind you guys to bring your coloring pencils, and we have a map activity tomorrow, so I might send that via Classroom. So it's really important that they start getting in the habit of doing that. And plus, they're in high school now, so colleges are going to be, the idea of college or going to college for some kids is going to start taking up some space in their heads, but also on their email. So colleges will send stuff through College Board usually regarding college stuff. So it's just a good habit to get into. It's really important that students are completing homework and classwork on time, because when they don't do this, then it can kind of get overwhelming. Looking for kids to put effort into the coursework that they're completing, so not just doing it last minute just to get the points. In fact, I tell students often, I'd rather have your best work, not your on-time work. So if something happens in life, I know life happens, email me, tell me you need another day. I'd rather give you the day than just something that you did on the bus on the way to school. And then participate during class, because this is a class where we're talking about issues that are really meaningful and matter. The more class discussion we have, the better everybody is. And then if there is any confusion or if students need clarifications, never encourage them to ask questions. Send me an email or ask before or after class. I'm available. I love teaching current events. I love teaching geography. So I love having conversations with school students outside of like school time as well. And I think that that is it. So again, my information is sort of in the middle of this presentation. If you have any questions or concerns, don't hesitate to contact me later. And that is